Hello, today I'm going to be presenting my Arduino project. I hope everyone is doing well in quarantine. My project is a speedometer for my bike. I chose to do this mostly because I am a biker and I thought it would be something useful to have. But I also realized there's a lot of safety hazards for a biker who is on the roads. Cars weigh several thousands of tons, and all it takes is one nudge of the wheel, and they could knock us off the road and quite severely hurt us. So I thought it would be very useful to have a option on this speedometer that not many speedometers I've seen on the market have, which is it shows the minimum braking distance of the bike. Another reason I chose to do this is for health reasons. So, a lot of bikers like to push themselves, but it's hard to keep a certain speed when you are biking because you don't know how fast you're going. So, a lot of bikers end up speeding up and slowing down a lot as they bike. Now, how does my project work? I have a bright strip on my tire that reflects more light than the dark tire does. And so I have a photoresistor there that is able to detect the differences. And it tracks the time it takes between these differences to see how long it takes for the wheel to go around once. Once it knows how to go around once, it uses that to calculate the speed. It takes the meters per milliseconds because it knows the circumference of the wheel, and it turns that into kilometers per hour. Then it also does more math and it calculates the braking distance with the additional information of the rider's mass. These braking distances use a flat terrain and a dry ground, so a medium coefficient of resistance to calculate the braking distance. So if it's wet or if you're going down an incline, it's going to take longer to brake than it would on the conditions calculated. So here I have a couple pictures of my setup. On the first picture here, you can see that I installed the Arduino in a Lego case, and I have only the LCD display visible. And I attached it there. It wasn't a great placement. You can't really see it while biking, but it's the only place where I have cables that are long enough for the photoresistor to see the tire. In my next picture here, you can see how I did the photoresistor. It just comes out of the Lego case and is able to see. It's pressed right near the tire and is able to see what is going on. Now you can see a video of me biking and using it. And as you can see, it's able to keep my speed very well up until the end where it says 29 kilometers per hour, and I'm obviously not going 29 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, the system was not very safe, and the tape that was being used to help hold the white strip onto my tires started coming off because it was raining, and I got launched off of my bike because it got stuck on my brakes. And that was quite painful. So, did my project work? In part, it worked. So, when I used it on a nice sunny day and everything was perfect, it worked just great. It was able to detect the difference between the dark tire and the light strip on the tire, and the tape stayed nice and glued to my tire. But when gloomy weather came around, there was a danger of the tape coming loose and getting stuck on my brake pads. And it was darker, so it was less easy to tell the difference between the dark part of the tire and the brighter part of the tire. If I had to change a couple things on my project, if I had more devices at my disposal, I would have done what they do on market speedometers and used a magnetic strip to record the speed of the wheel instead of a photo strip, because a magnetic strip you can hang onto the spokes of the wheel and it has less danger of getting caught in parts of the wheel. If I had more time, I would have liked to add maybe a couple more features onto the Arduino. I would have been interested in learning a bit more about the timer functions of Arduino and being able to have a proper stopwatch function. And if I had to restart the project, I would have tried to find a better way to hold the reflective strip onto the tire. And also, I would have liked to have some more long wires or some longer wires. Thank you very much, and I hope the rest of the year isn't locked down on quarantine. Have a nice one.